Welcome, everybody, to the Rotary and Diamonds Awards celebration here today. You know, too often, teachers are underappreciated, underpaid, and not recognized for the outstanding work that they do in our schools and the influence they have on individuals in that student body. About 20 years ago, a member of this club, Jack Kinney, recognized this void in the community and started this program called the Diamonds Award, A Cut Above. So over the past 20 years, we have recognized 110 outstanding teachers in District 11 who have positively influenced the lives of an immeasurable number of students with this Diamond Award, A Cut Above. And this year we've added 5 more. So thank you, Jack. Your legacy lives on. And serving on this committee is meaningful to me because, as you heard last week, my mother was a teacher. And last week I paid her a tribute. To this day, her inspiration and passion for teaching is reflected through 3 generations of my family. You know, her son, my brother, Roger, was a teacher and assistant principal and principal in Bellevue West High School in Nebraska, right outside of Omaha. She's got 2 granddaughters who are university professors, one at DeSales University in Pennsylvania, the other is Oklahoma City University. And she's got 2 great-grandsons, one of which is teaching now in Central High School in Omaha, the school that he graduated from, and the other one is just getting his master's degree at University of University of Arizona to be a high school teacher. He thought he wanted to be a firefighter and spent an internship with the fire department. He got his EMT and all of that, and then he decided he wanted to be a teacher. So before he even starts his career, he's on his 2nd already. So I want to echo Kelly's words last week of inspiration. He mentioned the large disparity in the compensation of teachers as compared to other professionals. You know, my mother, the other thing that Kelly mentioned last week was encouraging the support of our school systems. You know, supporting the bond issues, increasing teacher salary, those kinds of things. And my mother would get upset. I remember back in Nebraska, she would get upset when people started complaining about school taxes. And I can hear her just clearly say, you know, somebody paid taxes so my kids get an education, and I'm more than happy to pay taxes so somebody else can have the same benefit. So I just wanted to echo Kelly's remarks last week. So, you know, I don't begrudge the big salaries that professional athletes made, but there should be some leveling of what's going on with, you know, teachers. I guess I wanted to say that not one of those athletes, I'm sure, would be as successful as they are if they had not had a teacher that have influenced at some crucial point in their life. So let's hear it for the teachers. Yeah. I want to thank the committee for the hard work that we did. I'm the only one here today, but you know, we started out 6 strong. You know, Jack Kinney leading the group, Tom Nelson, Skylar Forrester, Holly Flores, and Tina Dewey, and myself. And now we're down to 3. You know, losing Jack over the last Christmas time, Skylar having an unfortunate stroke, and Tom being on a leave of absence. So there's down 3 of us. So I'm asking anybody interested in being on the committee to come see me. Okay. And the hard work that we did, we reviewed 764 nominations of 175 teachers in 5 schools. And we've chosen the 5, 2 that we recognized last week and 3 that we will today. So with that, and then we would need to thank Louisa Graff Jewelers, who has, for 20 years, has donated these lovely clocks, put in a diamond. So let's hear it for Louisa. Yeah. And now let's get down to the business of recognizing the teachers. Carol, we have one awardee who's not able to make it today, so Carol's going to say a few words. Yeah.
Thanks, Bart. Thank you. Well, I'm going to honor Martha Choi, but I first wanted to say that I became a teacher at Palmer High School, and it was my second career. My first career was as a physician at the University of Washington, where I retired as a clinical professor of pediatrics. And so my second career, though, is really the love of my life, and that was teaching high school biology at Palmer High School. So anyway, last week we heard from 2 teachers who really stressed how important that interaction between students and teachers really is. And our teacher from Palmer, I really didn't know, but I did some sleuthing. And first I went to talk to some of the teachers there. And this is what they told me. Martha Choi, a social studies teacher, has a rare ability to build authentic, trusting relationships with all of her students. Those who are in her class and beyond. Her classroom is not simply a safe place. It's a space where everyone belongs and each student knows they matter. Martha has impacted countless lives through her commitment to education. So that she's respected by her teachers that she works with. So here's what the students had to say. The teacher, Martha Choi, number 1, so this kid is organized, always is asking if we're okay and helps us through anything that we are struggling with. Number 2, she's very positive and she enjoys kindness to others and shows, kindness to other students. Number 3, a lot of effort. Number 4, she talks to other students we regularly don't talk to, and she uses presentations to get us out of our comfort zone. Number 5, she is very good at communication. Number 6, she goes to home games at Palmer. That's a rare event now. People don't go to the games like they used to. Number 7, she's helping me bring my grade up when I needed it or help on the assignment that I didn't know. The next student said, she's just as nice when she talks to us. And a lot of kids like her. She makes me a better person and she's fun to talk to. She works hard and she answers all my questions. She gives me time and she helps me when I need it. Also, she gives me treats and she connects with me. She tells us what to do and then we do it before the time is up. Yes, I think she does when we were doing this because when we were doing this big island project, she just made it clear of what we had to do, and she talked to us, and she made it fun, and she made me laugh that day. And there's value in laughter, isn't there? And then finally, this is great. She's the best teacher in the world. No need for me to tell you why. You just go talk to her. So there's Martha, and it's clear to me that she's pretty special. So we'll accept this award for her and make sure she gets it. And we sure appreciate you teachers and what you do for our kids.
Thank you, Carol. Now I get to introduce John Barusa. Yeah. John has got quite an academic background here. Are you the only PhD in District 11? No. Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah. Right. The current courses he's teaching is pre-AP World History and Geography in the 9th grade, Ethnic Studies in the 10th to the 12th grade, and World History since 1500, concurrent enrollment college credit in the 10th to the 12th grade. Whoops, whatever, yeah. His education, he holds a BA degree from Rutgers University, MA degree from Villanova, a master's in philosophy from Syracuse, and a PhD in history from Syracuse University. Current academic program, Pikes Peak Board of Cooperative Educational Services 2-year alternative licensure program, degree expected in 2024. Oh, okay. yeah. All right. His teaching positions, he's been at Mitchell for 2 years. He taught at Northern Arizona University and Syracuse University as well. And his quote of the day here is, "It is an unexpected honor to be receiving the Diamond Award. Thank you to the Rotary Club of Colorado Springs for giving our D11 students this opportunity. And thank you to my Mitchell students for letting me nerd out on history with them every day. I encourage my students to be themselves, and I thank them for letting me do the same." So some of what some of the students have said. He encourages everyone to work and has a great relationship with students. He explains things differently and hands out paper notes to make following along in the assignment easier. He talks to each student individually and as adults, not as children. Imagine that, huh? He treats every student the same. And let's see. Mr. Barruza is very nice, and he always keeps us on track and makes his material fun at the same time. He influences us by making his material easy for us to understand and helping us be a better student. He puts in that extra effort by making the material fun and understandable. He helps us stay on track and helps us stay in the working mindset. He communicates by saying Marco, and then we say Polo. So, with that, Dr. John Barruza.
So, thank you, Bart, and thank you all for having me here this afternoon. Special thanks, of course, go to School District 11 and the Rotary Club. I'll be honest, usually I can't finish a meal before I have a speech to give, but if you look at my plate, it's more or less clean, so I really appreciate the hospitality. I feel very comfortable. Thank you very much. And also, congratulations to my fellow Diamond Award winners. So congratulations to you, and Ms. Troy can't be here, but following up on what you were saying, one of her current colleagues is one of my former colleagues, and she told me, no surprise she won, she's absolutely beloved by her students, which I'm sure holds true as well. 5 out of 175, that's remarkable, and I'm just honored to be part of the class of 2024 for this, so congratulations. I'd actually like to begin on the topic of thank yous by thanking 2 people who are here with me today and 1 who is not, but they are my wife, my boss, and one of my many awesome students, Delana Tompkins. She could not be here today, like many students at Mitchell. She lives a very busy life, but I do want to thank her, and I will. All 3 played a literal, direct role in why I'm standing here before you today, and here's how. A couple years back, I was out of work, and one day, my wife, Shondell, says to me, "Why don't you teach high school?" So I said, why don't I teach high school? Part 1 of the process was underway. fast forward a few months, and my second thank you goes to my boss, my principal, George Smith. I think it was my second or my third week on the job, sometime back in April of 2022, and I see Mr. Smith in the library as I'm passing through. Now, up until that point, I hadn't had much airtime with the big man, had not gotten to interact very much with the boss, so, careerist that I am, I said to myself, time to schmooze. But before I could even say anything at all, he tells me, hey man, I hear you're hitting home runs left and right. And you know what? I really appreciated hearing that. Why? Dude was speaking my love language, baseball. I get but I also appreciated it for more legitimate reasons as well. Because at the time I was brand new to teaching high school. As Bart mentioned, I was transitioning out of academia. I think like so many teachers do from one career to another, we find our way to teaching, and I'm part of that, no different. But I was transitioning out of academia, so I was used to teaching college students. And yeah, teaching college and teaching high school are very different experiences. So at the time, I was doubting my ability to teach the kids and to reach the kids. But hearing that gave me the confidence that, yeah, maybe I can do this after all. My third and final thank you does go to Delana, my student, who unfortunately cannot be here today. She was enrolled in my ethnic studies course this past fall, so 2023. And one day late in the semester, as she and her classmates were getting ready to leave, packing up their things, waiting on the bell, she gets the class's attention by saying, everyone, make sure to vote for Baruza for the Diamond Award. He really keeps us on our toes and makes us work. And I'm thinking, make some work. I'm never winning that award. But lo and behold, but I really appreciated that completely unexpected endorsement. And I also told the students that they should vote for whichever teacher they think most deserves the award, because I do think all are truly deserving. And really, that was that. From that point on, apologies, but I didn't think about the Diamond Award anymore from that point on. I kind of just went back to my business until a few months later when Mr. Latino, Ms. Blackwell, Ms. Booth, Ms. West, and a whole bunch of people I did not know came into my classroom to tell me that I had won the award, courtesy of my students like Delana. So, to my wife, to my boss, and to my pupil, thank you all for making today a reality. I hope that everyone here can see that you all had a direct bearing on why I'm here today, receiving this award. About the award. In the letter notifying me that I'd won, the prompt requested that I speak about how social studies helps me reach my students. And really, I think that teaching social studies gives me a huge leg up. It is, after all, the study of society, of human groups, like a classroom, for example. So it's kind of already baked into the cake, I think. Like, for instance, if you're a math teacher and you've won this award, I don't know how you do it. I don't know, in the words of today's youth, God bless, because I could never do it myself, because I don't know how you do it. So kudos to you if you teach a subject like math and have won this award. Social studies definitely makes it a lot easier. Take Aristotle. He was wrong about a lot of things, like slavery, but I think he got it right when he said that humans are social animals. And I say that respectfully, of course. I don't gather that there are many people who are introverted in here, because it is a very, the environment I felt very welcomed here, but I also don't want to offend anybody. But social studies lets us tap into that, maybe that innate yearning for human interaction and interrelations. And we study it on the reg. Every day, every class, every lesson, we do it with ourselves and our students. Every day, every class, every lesson. It is the stuff of our discipline. And one class where we can especially explore human relations is the class that my student Delana took in the fall, Ethnic Studies. Now, ethnicity, in my mind, is a pretty vague term, but I think all would agree that ethnicities refer to human groups, human collectives. And at Mitchell High School, if you didn't already know, we have a lot of different ethnic groups: language, religion, race, national origins, culture and customs, common ancestry, really any way you want to slice it, we've probably got that ethnicity, or at least that ethnic category, represented within our student body. So a class like Ethnic Studies allows me to connect with my students in a way that I think, or at least I hope, is meaningful for them in a very real, personalized manner. I also think it helps that the Ethnic Studies class falls outside of the standard prescribed curriculum. As I mentioned, I taught college before switching over to high school. And while there, I was mostly teaching courses on topics like anti-Semitism and the Holocaust. Over the years, I lost track of how many times, and this is something that I mentioned in my job interview for Mitchell, I lost track of how many times students told me things like, I never learned about this in high school, or I wish I had learned about this in high school. For instance, they're like, Americans knew about the Holocaust? Yeah, we did, from like the very beginnings of it. And I get it. I didn't then, but I get it now. We teachers are bound to academic standards, district curricula, things like that, and I'm certainly not here to rail against any of that, not at all. But I also think that the more special interest courses and electives that we can offer our students, the better and the more well-rounded they're going to be. And I actually think this is something that Mitchell does very well, because whether on site or in partnership with other institutions, our students can do things like learn personal finance literacy, which is a standard. They can participate in career training, and they can earn genuine bona fide college credit. Dare to empower the whole student to profoundly impact our world, right? I think that my Ethnic Studies class supports that effort, and I think that Mitchell High School does as well. I began this speech apologizing for the length. I began this speech with a few thank yous, and I'd like to end by dedicating this award to two special people, people special to me who are no longer with us. First, I dedicate this award to my mom. She was a public school teacher too. She taught 7th and 8th grade English language arts. And whenever I'd see her when she'd get home from work every day, I'd say to myself, man, the last thing I want to do when I grow up is be a public school teacher. Lo and behold, everybody, life on the big blue marble. If she could see me now, she'd probably be very confused. The second dedication I'd like to make is to a former student of mine, a student who took my Ethnic Studies course a year before Delana did, and a student who was killed in an act of gun violence last December. I'm talking, of course, about Tarias Thomas, but we all knew him as T. If everyone here would join me in a moment of silence, in honor, and in memory of T, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, John. And now, Patty Weber, special education. I don't know exactly when special education really became part of this award, but it seems like probably they were not getting too many or any nominations through the special education. So special education teacher is the one award that is not, nominations are not by the students, but rather by the principals. So with that, I'd like to introduce Patricia K. Weber, Patty. She has a, yeah, come on up, yeah. She has a BA biology from Boston University and an MBA from Wilmington University. She's enrolled in a 200-hour certification course to become a yoga instructor. She's been a fitness teacher here in Colorado Springs for 7 years. Let's see. And she tells her students to exceed the minimum. That's her motto. What some of her colleagues have said. First of all, the letter of nomination here, it says, special education teachers are often overlooked in the general education environment. Special education teachers are the masters of filling their students' toolbox with tools necessary for them to thrive in the classroom and beyond. The great ones do this with minimal disruption to the general education environment. Patty Weber is one of the great special education teachers. And then another one of her colleagues says, Patty is a warrior for kids. She will move mountains to connect with them, meet them wherever they are at, and make learning fun. She's approachable, kind, warm, and warm-hearted. She will hold kids accountable when needed and has a fabulous sense of humor. You haven't tasted love from the oven unless you've had one of Miss Weber's cookies. Miss Weber is the best special education teacher I have ever worked with. So with that, Patty.
Thank you so much. I do like to bake. It doesn't get much better than a diamond award. That's pretty cool stuff, and I just want to mimic everything that you said. Your speech was wonderful. I'm just kind of going off the cuff here. Back in 1975, you can do the math, when I graduated from high school, I went off to college because I wanted to be a special ed teacher. And that was at Lesley College in Cambridge, Massachusetts. It is now Lesley University. And right in freshman year, they get you out student teaching, right off the bat. And I got out there and did some student teaching. I'm like, I can't do this. I don't have the patience for this. So I transferred to a different university and got a degree in biology and had an entirely different career. And then I got married and I became a mom. And my own biological children that are here with me today taught me so much about patience. And so after probably the best lessons of my life, I went back and I got my endorsement in special ed, and I started out teaching at Russell Middle School, 8th grade special ed. It was like being thrown to the wolves, but nothing like learning by fire. And after that, I taught at Scott Elementary for several years. And I just realized that I really loved special ed. I loved the kids. Somehow I had the patience for that to help them. And for the past 12 years, I've been at Achieve Online, teaching kindergarten through 12th grade, all at once. And that has been challenging as well, but extremely rewarding. Achieve has grown. It's been a great ride to be part of that and to see how much we've expanded and grown and served a very unique population. And it definitely takes a village. You can't do this alone. It's partnering with the staff and the faculty and the parents. And every single one of my students has been so important to me and so loved. And I know that they feel that. And my one student is here with me today. I think I introduced Lauren at the beginning. And I did not only have Lauren, I had her sister, who has since she graduated previously. And both of these young ladies have just done a remarkable job. I've become friends with their families. I'm always in touch with them. I'm just so proud. It's so rewarding to see how my students can grow and to learn. And I do believe that every student can learn, even math, algebra, all those things. And that's one of my favorite things to teach. And some of the kids say I want to work with Miss Weber because I like the way she explains it. So I just so appreciate all the people and all the wonderful things that have been said about me. I'm not quite sure that I'm worthy of all of that, but I am retiring in 21 days. And so it's been at least 20 years in District 11, but it's been a great ride, and I think that I have learned more from my students and all the people around me that I ever could have taught to anyone else. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for this award.
Thank you so much, Patty. And here you are. And a little check to go with it. Yeah, you bet. And I'm glad we got you on your final year here.
It's a nice way to exit, right?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Okay. Okay. And with that, where's President Sam? There she is.
Wonderful. Thank you, Bart, and thank you to our teachers. We're very grateful to have you here with us today, and thank you for sharing those wonderful words. Please remember to check out all the flyers that are on your table and have a wonderful weekend, and I hereby call the Rotary Club of Colorado Springs meeting adjourned.